Hey, how are you doing today? Come on in. Hey, how are you, darling? Let me see. I'll call her later. So listen. Hey, D Cop, how are you? Hey, RNY TV, how you doing, darling? Y'all look. Guess what I'm doing? This lady from church asked me to make her something. I'm gonna show y'all what it is in a second. I'm gonna show y'all what it is in 1 second. Hey, Lena, pretty brown eyes. She an older lady and she wanted a t-shirt for Halloween. I don't know why she want. I guess she so she can have it on when she get the kids candy and stuff. Hey, little girl, don't step on the gun, little girl. Get from up under that table. Y'all, my dog up under the table. I hope she don't step on the gun. She gonna mess around. It's not loaded though, so you know. I had him down there cleaning them from Saturday. Because you know when you go out and fire your weapon, you should clean it afterwards. So that it'll be ready for the next time you need to use it. That's what I always say. I'm gonna show y'all the beginning of it. So what I'm doing today, what I wanted to talk about you guys was respectability. But I want to show y'all something first. Let me show y'all something first. Y'all gonna say this girl crazy, but I like these things. All right. Y'all know I had to do that. Y'all, I'm trying to learn how to do my little intros. So basically what her little design is gonna say, it's gonna say Happy Halloween in orange. But look, today I wanted to come in and talk about respectability and being respectful. You know, guys know Stomp Down did a video last night and I could appreciate what he was saying. What he was talking about, we got to be more respectful towards one another. Um, hey Melissa, how you doing, Missy from the 216? And we got to be as a group of collective of people. We got to be more respectable to one towards one another. I see people on here. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with nothing I say. But I'm not gonna call you out your name, and I hope that you don't call me out my name. But if you call me out of my name, I get the right to call you back out of your name, and you can't be mad about it. Am I right? I'm just asking. Am I right, or did I say something wrong? I don't know. I'm asking you guys. What do you guys think? If somebody called me out of my name, I get the right to call them back out of their name. Just asking for a friend. Um, it's not right that people get to come and be keyboard gangsters and warriors, and they don't even cut. This is the funny part. If you don't like me, come put whatever you're gonna put under my chat. Don't go to somebody else's chat and put down that you don't like me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, I'm telling y'all just don't know how much I get that. Again, you don't have to like me. Just respect me. I respect you. I try to be, but then again, am I asking too much? I'm just wondering if I'm asking too much, y'all let me know. And I chuckled because I looked at that video Stomp Down did, and I said, this chick in here, she making all the noise, and she the one making, keep answering. And did she realize what she put down under his video about me? Not that I care. And the other thing is, I want to tell my everyday people, just because you see a one of the in my case one of the team assassins in the chat, that don't mean necessarily that was, if somebody got blocked, that person didn't necessarily block them. Sometimes it be sky mods, and people don't understand that. And sometimes it be the YouTube mods that be blocking people. I don't understand why people don't understand that. And then because people call me, say you're here usher, or they see me in the chat and I got a wrench, they automatically assume I blocked them. Why? What was you doing to get blocked? People just don't realize, they just come to people's place and they just so disrespectful to the mod, the chat, the hostess, the little girl. They just disrespectful to everybody. And it's just ridiculous. I don't know. And I got another discussion. Okay, so how many of you guys were in Brother Jay's chat today? And if y'all were in Brother Jay's chat, y'all probably know where I'm going with this. How many of y'all was in Brother Jay's chat? Drop a one if y'all was in Brother Jay's chat today. Because some people probably going to be like, "Ooh, Viv has some strong opinions up in there." I mean, although I didn't voice them like I could have or should want, would have. All right, so Natasha Milan came on, and Natasha Milan was talking about Rico. I ain't got no problem with Rico. I ain't got no problem with Tasha Malone. I ain't got no problem with Jay Wilson. But for the sake of argument, we had a discussion. And the discussion was, Natasha was talking. Okay, so they had this discussion, but that's not where I came in. My thing was, they said cisgender women and trans women. Okay, so first off, my first question. First off, they would talk about Dave Chappelle and his special. All right. So how many people actually seen the Dave Chappelle special, the comedy special, the last one? And if you've seen it, do you think that a person has a right to comment just on bits and pieces? Hey, Sheed, how you doing, sweetheart? So that's my question. Do you guys think that, all right, how many of y'all seen the Dave Chappelle concert? And how many people believe that, okay, so do you think that a person who hasn't seen a whole thing has the right to comment or give commentary on it if they haven't seen the whole thing? That's my first question. My second question is, do you actually think Dave Chappelle was coming after the LGBTQ community and trans people? I mean, okay, so I'm going to tell you guys, I saw it, and he said he might have used some colorful language, but he basically was saying that, from my understanding, that you could be a black person and kill another black person, especially a black man, and nothing ever be said about it. But if that same black person that killed another black man, and he won't even be canceled, but if he kill another black man, but if he said something about somebody from the LGBT community, he'll get canceled. That was the joke. The other joke was, and it really wasn't a joke, it was a story he was telling about he and a young lady that was a transsexual young lady that he gave an opportunity to be a comic. And now everybody's like, we want to cancel Dave Chappelle. I don't necessarily think he should be canceled, but if he not your cup of tea, I say don't go for it. I say don't listen to him. That led us into a conversation where, they say it's cisgendered women and cisgendered men. My question is, why do I have to be a cisgendered woman? CIS, cis. Why can't I be just a woman? Anybody want to answer that question for me? And do you got, my ladies and gentlemen in here, do you have a preference of being called cisgender? Hey, Deborah, how are you? I love you too, sweetheart. I'm just asking, do you guys have a preference of being called cisgender? I'm just wondering. My third question was, Jay Wilson had a strong opinion about um trans women being killed. I have an opinion about that too. I don't think anybody should be killed for their sexuality. But I do have an issue. Hey, Love Blake, I'm gonna tell you where my issue lies. My issue lies in, okay, you guys, I'm gonna tell you guys a story. I have a cousin. Growing up, his name was William. We called him Pee Wee. A couple years ago, I resaw Pee Wee, and Pee Wee's new name is China. So, okay, China was my cousin, and I knew China as he, Pee Wee William. Now it's China, she. And we had the conversation, and I said, sweetheart, I said, I need to know, what are your prepositions? I said, I understand that you are living your life as a woman. Hey, Stomp Down, how you doing, sweetheart? I told him, I understand that, or I told her, I understand that you're living your life as a woman. I said, sometimes I am going to mix up the prepositions. Not being funny, not being cute, not being mean. But okay, I've known I know this person as William for 30 years. 30 years. So, and I explained to her, I said, sometime I might mix up the prepositions. I said, but at this time I can't call you China. I'm still gonna call you Pee Wee. She said that was fine. So my next question to her was, what do you do when you meet a guy? Do you meet a guy as China and just continue to go out with this guy as China? Y'all, she told me, no, what I do is I tell the guy that I'm a trans woman. And I said, well, why? She told me, because I don't want to get killed by somebody who finds out later on that I was born a man. And I said, what? He said, I don't do it for everybody. She said, I don't do it for everybody. She said, I only do it for guys that are interested in dating me, in a relationship with me. She said, before it goes, you know, we kissing, I let him know that I am a trans woman. I said, well, why? And she's in DC. She said, because these dudes out here kill you for tricking them. What are you guys' thoughts? I'm gonna drop the link. What are you guys' thoughts? There's the link. And the thing is, I'm not here to bash anybody. We're not going to bash anybody. We're not going to be nasty. We're not going to be derogatory. We're not going to call anybody uh, F words, S words, D words, none of that. Mm-mm. We're not going to use any of those derogatory terms for the LGBTQ because I'm not here for that. This is just a open and honest discussion. What are your thoughts on the situation? We're not going to be disrespectful to one another because we ain't doing that. That's not happening. So they go to link for anybody that want to come up and join me, and because I'm honestly, I have questions, and I like to know what some of my LGBT brothers and sisters think about that comment, because a lot of guys say that they feel like somebody tricked them. After talking to my cousin, she made it clear that a lot of people don't be out there tricking people. The guys know, they just get embarrassed. I don't know. There's the link if anybody want to come up and give me their take on it. Because, y'all, I'm really trying to learn this. I'm really trying. I really am. And I know y'all probably like, everybody don't want to learn, but I do. And I want to be respectful to others and everybody. And that's why I'm trying to learn. And that's why I put myself out there and I'm vulnerable about this stuff and I ask the questions. Because, y'all, it's sad when our brothers and sisters are dying in the street for nothing. You know, because somebody's feelings got hurt or they were embarrassed. That's just the weirdest thing to me. Hello? And I understand what Jay was saying about people have the people, they should live their lives. But I also understood what he said when he first came on. When people were like, "Oh, you're gay." And he was like, "But we don't lead with our sexuality." Me being a heterosexual woman, I don't go down the street talk about I only sleep with men. So why should it be a problem when a male or female is homosexual, and why do people have problems with that? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And I don't think as long as I'm not trying to sleep with you, I don't think it should be a problem. What do you guys think on that situation? I see a lot of people, they do the most with the least. Hey, Stomp Down, how you doing, sweetheart? Let me go ahead and click my sweetie pie up here.
Mm,
Hey,
mm.
sweetie, how are you?
I'm doing well. I think this is a fabulous topic. Of course, I will be discussing it probably in about 30 minutes as well. I agree with about 99.9% of what you're saying. I don't have an issue with people. But I think in just sitting there for the moments that I sat there,
Hmm.
I think that you brought up some very valid points. I think one of the most necessary things that people that are transgendered must do at all times is that you make the men that may be interested in them, okay, make them aware of who you are as an individual. Because, like you said, there are increasing numbers of transgendered women who end up dead, and the men come to find out later they actually did know that they were transgendered, but because someone else may have found out, they wanted to rid themselves of their affiliation with the individual. Can you speak on that briefly?
Okay, and that is true. That is true. That's why, like, okay, so like I told you, I have a cousin. Her name
Hmm.
is China. We call her Pee Wee.
Hmm.
Well, I call her Pee Wee because that's what we grew up as. And
Hmm.
China talked to me because I had honest questions.
Hmm.
And I wasn't disrespectful. See, the thing is, the way a lot of us come at each other, we come at each other so disrespectful that people don't want to answer your questions.
Hmm.
And with me talking to her, she told me, she said, because I don't want to end up dead. That's why I tell guys up front that I am a trans woman. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, she said she always tells somebody else about who these, if she meets a guy and she's going out and dating him, she lets them
Hmm.
know, let somebody else know who he is, just in case something does come up later.
Right. Yeah. I think it's imperative. I think the reason why it's so imperative is because we do live in a transient type of environment today where there are no, how can I put it? There are no static boundaries, meaning when you and I grew up, it was what it was, or it
Hmm.
is what it was, right? So
Right.
today we no longer live that way. So it has just become increasingly dangerous for, as you said, trans women to move about in this society and not be threatened, whether it's at
Listen
work,
at this.
whatever.
I'm going to tell you this. It's dangerous for biological women, any woman,
Hmm.
to move about in the society. Um, that's why when I tell my nieces, when they go out on dates with these guys, tell somebody who you going out with.
Right,
Tell them where you going. Not that I'm trying to find you or be in your business or nothing,
right,
but you need to let somebody know.
absolutely,
Suppose you get taken off somewhere and you never heard from again. You see so many young girls, they go off and they never show up again.
right.
A lot of this can be prevented if you tell somebody who you going with and your route you taking.
Hmm. Yeah, I think the movement has to change what you would normally do as a male. You can no longer do that. So you actually have to move as a woman, in other words. So you can no longer move as a male. You have to move as a woman. You have to let people know where you are at all times, who you're with. I've even heard of people taking screenshots of IDs, tags, etc., because it's just that serious. Have you heard that before, Vivian?
I have. As a matter of fact, um, okay, so I've had my girlfriend on here, not Tracy, but my other girlfriend Sam.
Right.
Um, her husband, when her husband passed,
Hmm.
you guys seen her on my channel after her husband passed. I've done a couple of videos at her house, and she had a daughter with her. All right, so the mother-in-law passed, and they let the daughter go out on a date with this guy.
Hmm.
I was like, y'all just gonna let her go out with him? Do anybody know who this dude is? Where'd he come from? Who is he? How they going? When
Right.
they coming back?
Right.
And they looked at me like, and I told my girlfriend, I said, y'all white folks sure don't move like us black folk. And she
Right.
laughed at it when I said that.
Right.
But what I meant was she was just gonna let her daughter go off and nobody knew who the guy was,
Right.
when they were coming back, how they were going, uh where they were going in. They didn't even know where they were going. She had on a
Hmm.
little teeny short dress. She had
Right.
on some sandals. You know what I'm saying? She was dressed a little provocatively. And I was like, you gonna just let her go out the house like that and
Hmm.
nobody knows where she going and who she going with? I said,
Right.
now that little girl end up disappeared somewhere in the woods, because we
Hmm.
got a whole bunch of trees down here in woods. I said, then what you gonna do? Who you
Right.
gonna tell the police she went out with?
Right. I agree with you. And I think a lot of times people, they have to understand that people don't really take life as seriously as people of different generations. Not to say that our generation going backwards did, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is today. For example, somebody today will be with you. We've seen a case of that on the news where you had a young man and a young woman that was traveling across country in a motorhome, and she ended up dead somewhere, and he comes back home, and no one knows what happened to her or how, that's a very clear example of what you're talking about, in my opinion.
And now the thing is, now I've seen an interview with that young lady's mom and dad. And they're like, "Oh my God, we thought she was gonna be safe with him."
Right. And you know what? This is something, like I said, when I bring these topics up tonight of giving, I'm going to be controversial. So what I'm going to do is look at it from a completely different perspective, but the foundation that's going to undergird this situation, or what we see going on right now in regards to sexuality, is the truth, is the trust, is the knowing, is the knowledge, is the understanding. So when you and I go on my platform this evening, that is what's going to undergird this conversation you and I are currently having. Everything that is built on whether these sisters are going to have a relationship, people need to be knowledgeable. They need to be educated. They need to know. They need to be informed. And all of that goes, in my opinion, both ways, because a lot of what we see is preventable. You brought up something else that people just want to brush off. If I've known someone as a male, I have photos of them as a male, as a teenager, as a fifth grader, as a 4-year old, and I've known them for 30 years as a male. Don't have any expectations of me calling you Queen B. Not right off the cuff, because I've known you as a male for 35 years. Do you think that's appropriate, Via?
And again, my thing is, you gotta have a conversation with them people. You know what I'm
There that
saying? You gotta
there
have a
it is.
conversation with people.
Right, there it is,
Like I
Via.
said, I had a heart to heart conversation with my cousin, and I
Hmm.
went to her, excuse me, I went to her with love.
Right,
You understand what I'm saying? And
right,
that's the thing. It was about the respectability.
right,
I was very respectful. I didn't go at her like, "Oh, you." And I'm gonna tell you, and the word I'm about to use is a word that they use in DC all the time. "Oh, you faggy dude," and "Oh,
right,
you this." I didn't go. That's not how it was.
right.
That's not how it was. Because my thing is, first off, I don't. I love my cousin, and I don't want
Mm.
anything to happen to her.
Right,
Nothing.
right.
I want to be there. If I have to protect her, I want to be there to do whatever I can do to protect her.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's
Hmm.
anybody. I'm not trying, and I don't want to hurt her feelings because I
Right,
love her.
right, right, right. But on the
And
other hand, but on the other hand, they have to also understand, Viv, that if I have known you for 30, 28, 17, 19 years, I've known you as a man. I visually saw you dressed as a man. I've seen you in weddings as a man. I've seen you graduate as a man. We, it takes time, in other words, correct? That's all I'm saying. It's not an immediate change, in other words.
look, y'all, people sometimes feel I might have problems with the LGBTQI plus community. I don't.
Right.
I'm going to tell you guys why. I am an ally.
Hmm.
I have two nephews that are homosexual. Now, one of my nephews, he tend to live out loud. My other nephew, you would never know that he was homosexual.
Right.
You understand? He chooses not to. He chooses, and his partner, you would never know they were homosexual. You just think they were roommates.
Mm-hmm.
And my nephew, he's like, I don't have to throw my sexuality up in people's face and things of that nature. As long as you guys respect me as who I am,
Mm-hmm.
I respect you as who you are.
I understand totally. I really do.
But he doesn't bash anybody else how they live.
Mm-hmm.
We don't judge him and he don't judge us.
But see, that's the whole thing, is that people have to accept people where they are, because at the end of the day, the bed that you sleep in, I don't sleep in it. That
Exactly.
what you eat does not make me shit. I know that sounds crude. I know it sounds brag. I get it, but at the end of the day, it is the truth, right?
That's the truth. That's more than the truth.
So
Um, Florida Bay asked me how old was that young lady. That young lady was 15 at the time, Florida Bay. But Florida Bay, I know some 30-year-olds is just dumb enough to go out there
you
and
know
go
that's right.
be with people. I'm gonna tell you, I got a whole niece. She and her, let me see. It's 4 years between my niece and I.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister called me all the time. She went out with somebody and I don't know where she's at. I was like, you raised that demon. I didn't.
Right. I get you.
You raised that demon that has no clue about life. She not smart enough to know to tell somebody her whereabouts and things of that nature. She out there sneaking and dipping and tripping and dipping. And when
Right.
she end up missing, she just be missing.
Right.
And people say that's a hard task to take. But y'all, I remember one time she went to whole New York
Mm-hmm.
to meet some guy that she met offline. And
Really.
yeah, this dummy got on a train, went to New York to meet some dude that she met offline, and
Mm-hmm.
didn't tell nobody where she was going.
What?
I pieced it together because that's who I am. I'm Perry Mason.
What?
I pieced it together, but it was the fact that she got on a train at like 2 o'clock in the morning, went to New York to meet some dude that nobody knew she was going to meet.
Mm-mm-mm. What?
Now, suppose she had not made it back from New York.
Right. I mean, and that's possible, because it does happen, and that's what people have to pay particular attention to. The society has become more free and more open in perspective, simply because of several things. Transportation is one, the access to transportation, and um, internet and social media. And so you could meet someone within an hour and go see them. You see what I'm
And,
saying?
and a lot of people don't know who these people they're meeting on the
No, of
internet,
course they don't.
because you hear about so many people that are getting um, attacked,
Right.
accosted,
Yes. Yes.
abused,
Yes.
beat up, even
Mm-hmm.
killed because they met somebody online on
Mm-hmm.
these Tinder dating apps and these different dating apps. They
Right.
go meet these people, they
Mm-hmm.
hook up,
Mm-hmm. And it's over. It could
and they
be over
don't know
within a blink of an eye.
exactly. Because remember, they used to have them people they meet on Craigslist.
Oh, that was horrible. And they finally pressured. And that was not just state government, that was federal government pressured them, because it was, in my opinion, it was a form of unpaid solicitation to prostitution. If I can say it that way on your platform.
Yeah, you
That's
can. You can.
that's what it was. You
So
see,
yeah,
Vivian,
that's
that was a form of unsolicited prostitution, and it wasn't simply males. It was males, females, transgender. You name it. If it exists, it was on there. And guess what? Not only was it on there, meaning the individuals, also drugs was on their vid, also sexually transmitted diseases were on there. You had people come up missing off of there, people cut up off of there, people robbed off of there, people beat up off of there. So that needed to be stopped. And that is so awesome. I just wrote that down so we can have a discussion on my platform about that this evening, because it's just not just one little piece. No, it's multiple pieces of things, like you just said. It's almost, if I can say this, it's almost like human trafficking, to be honest with you.
Because human trafficking was on there.
Hello,
It was on there.
hello.
I mean, I've heard stories where they had people. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all. I went to a conference on human trafficking here. Do you know there's people there are trafficking children that go home every day
Yes,
to
every
their
day.
own personal house with their parents. Their
Mm-hmm.
parents don't even realize that they're being trafficked.
Mm. You're right, sweetheart. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
There are
Yes, yes,
parents
yes.
that do not realize that their children in the house with them are out there being trafficked, doing
Hmm.
prostitution and
Oh,
things of
Lord.
that nature. Hey, Vibrant, how are you, darling? Hey, Miss Janice. Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
whole lot of people. They don't realize that, y'all, and that's scary to think that.
But it's also, if you think about it, Vivian, to take even a step further forward with it, it's not, it's harmful to society, because what we have going on, and this relates to your initial topic in regards to Dave Chappelle and whatever. But anyway, it's extremely harmful to society, because if you have that kind of behavior that is so prolific to where it has become the norm, or it's been standardized, or it's been accepted, then it's okay to kill a person and throw them in the river. It's okay to run somebody over with a car. I mean, that's basically where we're going, because we're saying that people are not valued. In other words, that you're just a piece of whatever. There's no value in you. I don't see you with emotions. I don't see you as a human. I don't. I mean, at least that's what I'm getting from it, right?
And that's why I said we have to get back to it's all about being respectable.
Yes,
I
I'm with you.
laughed. I laughed at your last video because I just looked at your video. You know the one we were in, and you were telling people your rules of your platform.
You have to, because if you don't, people, you can only be pleasant for so long, because guess what? The pleasant people are not the ones that are the loudest. The people who are detractors, the people who are creating the environment, who are sitting up here picking, you know how they would pick at you as a kid? This is basically what adults are doing. So you can only be charming, you can only be pleasant, you can only be civilized so long.
And I kind of chuckled because I said the person that's talking aloud is really the one that's being addressed. Don't you?
Hello?
And you're steadily, coming at
Yes.
some. Do you realize what you said under the comments?
Hmm.
How nasty you were? You were nasty.
Hmm.
And they did. And she didn't even realize that. And she knew it. She knew it. That's why she kept trying to ingratiate herself with you. I
Right.
like what Catnap said. Catnap said you can also take a photo of the dashboard, steering wheel, car seat, or anything inside a
Right.
car that can help the police match a car.
Right.
That is true. If you in the
It's very
car,
true.
I'm gonna tell you. I used to go on dates, and they used to laugh at me because I would take a picture of people's car tags, car
Hmm.
that I was getting in. I'd take a picture of the car on the outside or the tags.
Right.
I'd be like, let me see your driver's license, take a picture of their driver's license, and I'd text them to like my sister
Hmm. Very wise.
because I don't want to be the one out there. My mom always told me, y'all, before you leave home, let me see what you got on. I always wondered why she always want to see what I got on. You know what she told me? She said, because if something happened to you, I need to know
Hmm.
what to tell the police that you had on.
Hmm. And it could be something via as simple as being in a car accident and you're in a coma. I know it sounds trivial, but it's the truth, because if you can tell them, okay, my daughter had this on. Okay, well, the police do have direct contact with the ER. They'll say, okay, do we have a young lady there that has, I don't know, this color shirt, blouse, whatever on? glasses, whatever. Oh yeah, she's here. She's here.
She
She's
has
here.
this tattoo on her body, or she has that identifying mark.
Right.
Did you hear about the young lady that was in Huntsville, Alabama? I think it was that her family been looking for her for a couple weeks, and they found her in the police station in a not in the police station, but in a police parking lot in a van,
Sure.
dead
Yeah. Unlocked. She was there in the van, unlocked in the police parking lot. Interesting, right?
in their van.
Now, Viv, you know if you drive up to a police substation right now, as you speak, if you get in your vehicle and you drive to a police substation and you park, just look at the exterior of the building. What do you see at the exterior of the building? Cameras.
A rack of cameras.
Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Okay.
So I'm at the point now. I had some questions. First
Mm-hmm.
off, her family said that she was a frequent flyer down there at that police station anyway, because she was always going down there for help.
Mm-hmm.
And she would call her family to come pick her up from
Right.
down there quite often. Why was she going back and forth down there to the police station? What kind of help did she need?
Mm-hmm.
Was she the victim of a domestic violence? Did she have mental health issues and that was the only place she knew to go?
Right.
Was somebody stalking her? Did she have
Mm-hmm.
trouble with females? You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm riding with you, and that's the thing is that people have to be able to. Oh Lord, it's just so tragic. People have to know their people to the extent that they know what they're dealing with, and they have to have the resources, meaning the physical resource, meaning brothers, uncles, grandfathers to deal with these guys, as well as have the monetary resources to deal with them. Because you know what, Via, I think you're right. I think she may have been going there because she was being physically or emotionally abused. And often, when people don't have the physical and the monetary resources to deal with people immediately, guess what the abuser does? They keep abusing. And sometimes, and it's sad, they will abuse you until you're dead.
But my question is, okay, so that was the first thing. They and the family knew that she kept going down there for help.
Mhm.
So my
Okay.
question to the family is,
Hmm.
put it out there. What kind of help was she out there needing? Did this person chase her to the police station?
Right.
Did was her abuser a cop? Did they
Right.
put her in the van? Was she put in a van or did she uh get in the van herself?
Hmm. I mean, you know what? The thing about it is, this is the way I look at it. People who are abusers of women and men. Okay. See, this is a great topic, and we're going to continue this over when you come over with me. They don't do it in public. Guess what? They're the sweetest person in public. They'll come right up to Vivian and shake her hand and smile in her face and, oh, can I pull your chair out for you? And can I help you in any kind of way? And they will get these people home and beat the hell out of them. And I say, get you a knife and stab that bitch until it break off. That's what the hell I'm telling you, goddamn. I wish you would. I wish a bitch would. Let me calm down.
And the
All
thing
of
is, families of abusers know that
they
they
know it.
have abusers in their family. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, I love my brother to life and back. But
Right.
my brother was an asshole when we were growing up, and he's still an asshole.
But you know him because he's your brother.
I
You
know
know
my
him.
brother, he an asshole. And guess what? When my brother decided that he had one baby mama, he
Right.
beat the hell out of that girl. And I told her, why would you be with him?
Right.
The next baby mama, he beat her. Guess what? Her sisters and her brothers came over there and jumped him, and I helped him. Because
Uh-uh.
he ain't had no business putting his hands on her.
Oh my
He ain't had no
God.
business putting his hands on her. They jumped him, and I helped him.
Oh my God, dear. Ooh,
The last
girl.
baby mama, she shot at him. I bet you he ain't bother her no more.
But ooh, Viv, we got to talk about this girl. I got about 20 minutes or less, but I'm gonna stay here with you as long as I can. But see, this is what conversation is about. This is what teaching is about. This is what is important for people to know and understand that baby, these people will take your life in a blink of an eye. They will roll you up in some trash cans and throw you away like you garbage and don't even give it a second thought. And guess what? It just doesn't happen to women. There are men who have been found rolled up in a mat where they were physically abused by their spouse, which is a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, you
I saw
know,
it in the military all the time, y'all. I saw it in the military. I knew some dudes. They was beating the hell out of them and dared them to hit them back. You hit me back, I'm gonna call your commander and tell him you
ooh,
abused.
girl, no, no, they did not.
Yes, they did. Hit me. I'm gonna call the MPs and tell them that you abusing me.
Oh my God. But she want to continue to beat.
Mm. That's why I always tell my nieces, keep your hands to yourself. If you keep your hands to yourself, you ain't gotta worry about nobody knocking the hell out you.
Oh my God, Viv. Ooh, Viv. And see that's what's see because then the person is actually a taker. Okay, because what they're doing is it's beyond physical abuse. Then you're becoming a sadistic sadist zealot, in my opinion. That's because see you're deriving something from that. You're actually relishing in the pain of the other individual and seeing how much further forward you can take it, right? So it's not just the physical pain of what they're going through, it's also the mental pain because they know if they make the wrong step, the MPs will be called, the commander will be called, the years of service will be depleted. See that kind of stuff there, that's when the sisters need to come up and one or two of them need to have on some wedge heels. And they need to take them wedge heels. Let me shut up. Let me be quiet.
But I'm telling you, they used to do that all. I've seen that so much. Put Send me home if you want to. Send me home, and I'm gonna tell them you did this or you did that. And you know, a lot of guys, their manhood is attached to, um,
Hmm.
they don't want to be known as being homosexual. But I had a lot of, I knew some females that would threaten a man's manhood,
Hmm.
which I think was just terrible. I think that's terrible.
I mean, that just to listen to what you're saying. I mean, on any level, irregardless if it's a male or a female. I just don't. I don't think
I
you
don't
have the
like
right to do that.
abuse.
I don't
I
like
don't
people
like
abusing
abuse.
people.
I don't like people being abused, and I don't like abuse.
Right.
I
I
don't.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that. 100%.
I don't. I don't agree with people. It's just crazy.
I think it's sick, Viv. I truly think it's sick that a individual could actually derive some type of pleasure. I mean, I think you and I are looking at this correct. These people are actually they're sadistic because if you can abuse somebody behind closed doors and walk out those closed doors and come into the light and you're shaking people's hands and you're grinning and oh yeah, and then you hugging the spouse and you got them putting on the phone. I'm not living like that.
Mm-mm.
I'm not living. I'm not getting ready to go through
Think
that.
about this. Think about this. You got some women who are being abused,
Hmm.
and the man go to they parents' house and they sisters and brothers' house and act like he ain't never did nothing to him. And the girl walk around with her owl swole. Oh, she fell down the steps.
Mm, really? Guess what, Viv? Can I say this in your platform?
Go ahead.
There are gonna be two bitches falling down the steps. And then you know what I'm and Viv, we're gonna get into it because I'm not afraid to go downtown. Because one thing you're not getting ready to do, and I don't care who you are, and especially if it's someone that I love, it could be a great friend. That's like me sitting up letting somebody beat on Vivian. I guess all three of us, we're gonna go to the county jail because we ain't getting no. I'm not taking no ass whooping. I'm just not doing it. You're not getting ready to beat on me.
I'm gonna tell
I'm
you
not doing
something,
it.
Dan. I laugh. I laugh. I laugh. I laugh. I laugh. I laugh. Oh, she said the crisis intervention team was very familiar with the lady. They helped with resources on many occasions.
Well, they knew, Viv. They knew. They knew. They knew that she was being abused. That's what I'm hearing. I mean, am I wrong? They knew. They knew she was being abused.
Oh, there was a delay due to the family giving the incorrect date of last seen. But you would thought that somebody saw her getting the daggone, so nobody monitors the videos at the police station. I'm sorry.
Charlie.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been that loud. But I'm just saying, ain't nobody. But then again, you know what? Let me shut my mouth. Let me shut my mouth because I ain't gonna have nobody doxing me.
Right.
I ain't gonna have nobody doxing me.
Right.
It show no signs of foul play.
Mm.
Hey, beloved princess.
Hey,
It
beloved
show
princess.
wait a minute. It showed no signs of foul play.
Mm. I don't know about that. I think that's bullshit too. I'm sorry. Somebody got to tell it. That's bullshit.
Well, what she do? Just crawl up in the van and die,
Mm. Well,
or did she
that's
take? So now I'm asking myself: did she commit suicide?
well,
Did she
that's what
take
they
some
gonna say.
pills?
That's what they gonna say. That's what they gonna say. And I hate to say this, beloved princess, but the thing about it is that people have to be willing. I don't care if you have to go to a security guard in a store.
Wait a minute. She said that vehicle had been used since the early 2000s.
Well, it may have been sitting out there, Phil, but you know what? Somebody put the lady in the vehicle and walked off. They did do that.
So now my question is again, how did she get into that vehicle? Did she
I
walk
can.
there herself? Did she fly? Did Scotty beam her down in that joint?
Well, I can't say nothing
Did
because
she
I'm
did
not
she
gonna say nothing.
look, did she bewitch herself in there? I'm trying to
Well,
figure it out.
I'm gonna be quiet because I don't know who's watching these platforms, and I don't want nobody coming to my damn house. So I'm gonna leave that where it is. Mm,
Well, I'm
mm,
just asking questions.
mm, mm.
I'm just asking questions. I seen somebody do a commentary on it. I said, seen a video which the family saw going in and out of the van on several. What?
And hey, Mo's Kitchen, baby, we see you. We see you.
Hey, darling, how are you? So she was going in and out of the van. So was she living there?
See, that's the reason why this stuff is. It has to be handled via when it begins because she could have actually had a home, and I'm just speculating, but she may have been beat. She may have been threatened. She may have been in a position where she couldn't go back home because if she go back home, the person gonna beat her.
Exactly. Beloved princess, we talking about the young lady in Alabama that they found in the police van dead. Her
Don't know how
family
she got in the
reports,
parking lot.
and we don't know how she got in the parking lot. She was actually in a police van in a police station
Hmm.
in a parking lot dead.
Yeah, but they don't know how she got in the parking lot, and they said that the back of her heels had pavement marks on them where they had drug her to the car. Hmm. Okay, well, if it looked like somebody and sit up here and drug your heels, okay, wouldn't that tell
The
you that
back of the
somebody drug her
door.
in there?
Okay, so it said the back door of the van does open once locked, as the van
Mm,
was used to transport inmates.
mm. Sound like some bullshit to me. I hate to say it,
Wait a
but
minute. So wait a minute. If it's used to transport inmates, does the inside open? Christina Nance, that was her name. Beloved princess. Her name was Christina Nance.
and they need to do a rape kit on it too because it just because I mean it couldn't have been consensual. They need to do a rape kit. They need to do fingernail scrapings. They need to do every damn thing. I'll do it all because we don't know. We don't know if she was
Oh, you
raped.
know what? Vibrant Love got a point there. She said crisis intervention could also mean drugs.
That's true. I
And
mean,
that's what
yeah.
I was saying. Vibrant Love, okay, her family said she was a frequent flyer down there. Did she have mental health? That's my question. Was she Was she being abused? Did she have mental health issues, or was she like drugs or alcohol? That was my
Right.
question.
Right.
But people don't want to put out their family. Um, okay, Vibrant said they're tested for such now with toxins, like with toxins and an assault kit. So
Right.
all of those.
I mean, anything, Viv. We know that something is off here. We do know that something is fishy. At least I do.
What? No, not Crump.
Is he Crump down there?
They said Crump is Esquire. The
Well,
lawyer, Mr. Crump.
ain't nothing getting ready to get solved. I'll leave it at that.
He is an ambulance chaser for sure.
Honey, he gonna have that family out there praying and forgiving. I'm sorry, but somebody need to say it. It's the truth.
Honey, y'all, I'm telling y'all. I wish you, ooh, honey. I'm glad it
Um,
ain't my family. But Mr. Crump need to go somewhere and sit down.
immediately, in that order. Immediately.
You think Big Crump gonna get to the bottom of it?
Girl, don't you start that. Oh my God.
Vibrant Lord.
She knows she crazy as hell. She know he ain't getting nothing but the bottom of that goddamn purse. That's all he getting to the bottom of. She
Brian
know it.
Landry. Is that man that killed that girl, beloved princess? Is that so? He was found dead. Was a self-inflicted wound, beloved princess? Because I think his daddy knew. Because when he flew back home, uh, from after that video, I think he had already killed her. And I think he flew home to tell his daddy what he did, and came
Mhm.
back and disposed of the body.
Right. I have to agree with you on that. And his body was also via, they said it was scattered, in meaning that animals had actually got hold to his body and they
So
did what
he had a
animals do.
self-inflicted wound, and the animals got to him and tore him up.
Basically, that's what they're saying. That yeah, he was found, but in pieces. That's what I heard on the news. He was found, but in
Vibrant.
pieces.
Who you think we gonna be? They found skeletal remains.
Hmm.
Skeletal remains. He ain't been
Right.
gone that long to have no skeletal remains. He ain't been missing that long. Hey, hello, Lena. He ain't been missing that long to have skeletal remains.
Let me get over here, girl. I got that really show, honey.
All right,
Wait a minute.
all right, babe. I'll be over there
Oh,
later on.
all right.
Okay, thank you. So, beloved princess, they found skeletal remains. Oh, okay. He was underwater. Oh, it's not far from your house, hello, Lena. Oh my God. So he was found underwater. Okay, so yeah, they might have found skeletal remains. Oh, by some alligators. I ain't think about that. I ain't even think about that. But I still think that his mom and daddy knew exactly what was going on. Okay, slump down. Thanks, babe. I still think that his mom and daddy knew exactly what. Oh, they found him after the swamp water rescinded. He probably was out there trying to run from the police and ended up in the swamp, and some alligators got him. But again, you do wrong, you get wrong. Do wrong, you get wrong. So, all right, so that's one. That's one mystery that's solved. Okay, so we got that mystery solved. Now, our next mystery is this young lady. Thank you, beloved princess. I appreciate that. Miss Christina. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I'm going to be watching that one because I think it's so crazy, this stuff going on. It is so crazy. It is so crazy. Y'all, I am to the point now, I am just like, I cannot believe, oh, well, yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. And see, this young lady, Christina, is exactly what we're talking about. Somebody in your family need to know what's going on with you. They need to know where you are. We need to stop just disappearing and nobody could track us down. We trying to be all incognito. Let somebody know what you got on. Take a picture. Bow. Boom. Let me take a picture. Pow. And send it to somebody. If I go out with a guy, y'all, when we leaving, I take a picture and I send it to somebody. Say, oh, look who I'm going out with. Send it to my sister. Send it to a friend. That way, somebody gonna know where I was and who I was with. Cause I don't want nobody. I want somebody around to tell the story, y'all. I'm just saying. The young crowd need to slow down and like, you right about that. Some of them do need to slow down. But some of them think that you can't tell them nothing. When I say you can't tell them nothing, you can't tell them nothing. You can't give them no advice. They know everything. But guess what? When we was young, we knew everything too. We knew everything. The world, it was us against the world. But one thing I learned when I was in the army, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all what taught me in the army. I had a guy, I went out on a date with him. My roommate told me, "Oh yeah, he a good guy, da this and y'all went out on a date with this guy." At the time, I ain't have cell phones. They ain't have cell phones. I went out on a date with this guy. He took me about 50 to 60 miles from the base. And we went on a date. We went to a restaurant and we went to a movie. And then he, after the restaurant, he was like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to go back to base." And he was like, "I'm gonna get a hotel room." I was like, "Mm-mm, I don't want to stay in a hotel room with you." I said, "You can give me up my own hotel room, or you can take me back." Well, y'all, I was at his mercy, and I couldn't call nobody because I ain't had nobody call at that time. But that taught me a very important lesson. Vivian, when you leave, make sure you got a way back. Make sure you got an ample amount of money on you to do what you need to do. Make sure you got some phone numbers of some people you can call so that you can get you a ride if you ride with them, somebody else. I'm telling y'all, that taught me that was the most valuable lesson I learned in the military. Don't go nowhere without no money where you can't get back and no transportation where you can't get back. Right now, if I go on a date with somebody, they be like, I'd be like, where we gonna go? They be like, oh, let's meet up at the restaurant, or I'm gonna come past and pick you up and meet you at the or we gonna go to the restaurant. I don't know you that well. I'll meet you at the restaurant. Which one we gonna meet at? Cause I don't want you driving me nowhere. Cause you get me out there and get me away from my house, and I can't get back. It's gonna be a bad situation. So yeah, and plus on top of that, I like to carry my weapon with me. You never know when you might need it. I carry my weapon with me, and I don't want to ride in somebody else's car with it. But in my car, I can ride with it. So, but yeah, y'all, it's been an hour, and I thank y'all for coming over here and vibing with me. I really appreciate y'all. I really do. Um, We'll be on again. Look for me and Stomp Down later on. We're gonna be on this. We're gonna be on He channel, and we're gonna be, we're gonna roll. We're gonna talk about these topics. All right, y'all. Thank y'all. As my mom always say, live, love, and laugh. And as my daddy always say, Lord, make us a blessing so I can be a blessing. And I hope I was a blessing to somebody. Y'all, tell our folks. Let somebody know where they're going. That's the moral of the story. Let somebody know where you're going and know what you got on, so somebody can be able to identify the, if something happened, they can tell you, the police, which way to go. All right, y'all. I'm out. Have a good evening. Thank you.